Seriously, sometimes I begin to wonder what is actually wrong with Africa as a continent. Why do we always tend to treat our matters like this? Information reaching us right now has it that members of the Super Eagles have been held hostage in Libya. And I want you to take a look at how Rafai Hussaini has expressed his displeasure when Aaron came to present the matter on Arise News Studio. Please, do well to intentionally touch the like button, share this video so that Nigerians can see what exactly is going on with Super Eagles in Africa. And don't go anywhere, I'll be coming back to give you my own thoughts about it.
I mean, in Libya, it's unfortunate what is actually going on right now because the Super Eagles, like we all know, were caused to play Libya for the second leg in the doubleheader when of course they played in Nigeria on the 11th and they were supposed to play tomorrow being the 15th, but it's unfortunate that the Super Eagles have been stuck at an airport, the Al Arab airport in Libya, and it's sad that 13 hours and counting the Super Eagles have been denied access to food, water and other basic necessities of life. Communication has been limited. You can actually see some of the Libyan officials there barricading the door and the gate because the Nigerian Football Federation have confirmed that, in all fairness, they try to work best with a very bad situation, and they made contingent arrangements, and that has been scuttled by the Libyans. It's unfortunate what is happening. We'll still be talking about that in details, but in the meantime, Captain of the Super Eagles tweeted this morning, and this is what he had to say about that particular incident. Of course, in his first tweet, he spoke about the fact that they diverted our plane from its original destination once we started descending into Libya through their government's instruction. Once we landed, they kept us in this abandoned airport for over 12 hours, and now without any provision. Moving on, of course, he went on to say that even our pilot, who is Tunisian, who was locked in a hostage, came back hours later. He was told in every nearby hotel that they would only accept him alone and none of the Nigerian air crew members. Are we still talking about international football? Still pressing it further, this is what Victor Boniface tweeted. He said, being at the airport for almost 13 hours, no food, no Wi-Fi, nowhere to sleep. African, we can do better. Or rather, Africa, we can do better. Okay. I spoke to the media head of the Nigerian Football Federation, Ademola Olajire, in a phone conversation. This is what he had to say about what is happening.
We're still here at the local Al-Habrak International Airport, where Nigeria's chartered aircraft was granted last night. We were expecting to launch in Benghazi, but just as the pilot of the Value Jet aircraft was making his approach, was diverted to this local airport, and we understand it's only for operations. So we are still here. We did not see anybody from the Libyan operation. We are attending here and there by the security operatives. We made arrangements in the Nigerian Football Federation for vehicles and a hotel in Benghazi. But before that, we were diverted to this local airport, which is 3 hours from Benghazi, has made things very difficult. So we're still here, and the players have resolved not to play the match again, and we're making arrangements to fly back to Nigeria. That's the present situation.
Alright, that's the present situation. Al-Habak Airport holding the Super Eagles hostage. It's unfortunate this is happening. Now, as I just press further, this is not an isolated incident, and this is something CAF will need to address. Because back in 2022, fine, Eyimba International of Aba were also in a similar situation. In Libya, they were kept there for 24 hours. If they can actually help us with some of the pictures, they were kept there for 24 hours. They were supposed to play Al-Ittihad in one of the confederations came, and they were kept there at an airport in Libya for 24 hours. And it's unfortunate that CAF have not probably swung their big stick in what some have called the dark tactics that North Africans usually deploy when they are playing qualifiers, be it for club side or for national teams, because this is not the first time, this is not the second time, and I'm sure if care is not taken, this is not the last time this would actually happen. For the brevity of time, let's just talk about the fact that it's unfortunate that Høśtâge has actually passed on at the age of 77. Yes, yesterday that actually happened, and our condolences goes out to the family.
I think if CAF wants to be fair, a lot needs to be done as regards this, because like you said rightly, I mean, this thing has been on since the days of JS Kabilis of this world, you know, that delay tactics. I think I particularly remember on the route to Shooting Stars in 1996 getting to the final of the CAF Champions League. I knew what they went through when they had to play those countries, you know, from North Africa. And even the deplorable conditions when they played the final, the second leg of the final in Egypt in Zamalek, where they finally lost on penalties.
You remember the MKO's famous story also?
Where they had to go to, I think, East Africa, that he had to drive the bus himself and all of that. And he also had to go for a meeting that night. So, please, something needs to be done by CAF. And this rubbish cannot be allowed to continue. This is a total eyesore. This is a sad day for African football. And I think we should stage a walkout of that game. And CAF must. Another thing we should is, I'm going to call the likes of Amaju Pinnick into this morning. Amaju Pinnick holds a great position in FIFA. He should be able to prevail over his friend that heads CAF, and this should go up to FIFA level.
No, because the Libyan government are also complicit, because refusing Nigerians, they actually put out a circular that says that Nigerians should not be given
Amaju should tell the CAF
any kind of warm reception.
That this should be escalated up to FIFA level.
Yes.
This is sad.
No, this is sad. We don't have very strict penalties, we're not going to see the end of such treatment. I just felt sorry for the players. Looking at them at the airport, it looked like it was quite cold and they were not properly dressed for the situation. You can see them huddled in a corner having their hoodies over their head. So it's beyond just the the mental and physical ability to play in Libya. It's also the effect it could have on them on future games. Like we said, if this isn't properly handled, either Libya is excluded from the AFCON for this year's AFCON, or even at FIFA level, then we'll continue to see this kind of poor treatment. Then brings the bigger conversation. What is it with us on the African continent? Why? I mean, Libya is a country in North Africa. Yeah, there are debates around whether or not they consider or self-define as African, perhaps seeing themselves more as Arabs. But as long as they are classed as African, then we need to do something about our relationships across the continent. There's so much division, hate. This is where the West perhaps have won over us. In Europe, you have the Schengen visa that gives you free movement of people and trade across the European nation. But in Africa, even sports that's meant to be a unifier is now seen as a weapon to not allow our guys. Something has to happen. So I believe that this conversation is beyond this particular incident, but even goes further afar to see international relations, diplomatic relations between Nigeria and Libya. Talks have to happen. And then, our tributes and condolences to the family of the Fegenes. He was very active in the 1960s and I think 70s, playing, and very, very well known for his agility on the field. He played in Mexico at the 1968 Olympics. So just to say thank you for your service, and I pray that he rests in peace. And the Nigerian government will give him honor, even to his family, now that he's passed away.
Okay, let me start with Peter Fregene, and to start by, highlighting the role that has been played by Chief Segun Odegbami in his story. It was Chief Segun Odegbami who alerted the public that this is one patriot, one person who served Nigeria, with his talent and gifts, and that he was in dire straits at the age of 77. He died in the presence of two of his children and his wife Tina. Chief Odegbami also told us. He was known as the Flying Cat, 1968 Olympics, and also he was in the Green Eagles in the 60s and 70s. But the point that I made before now is that, look, what can we do to help retired footballers, sportsmen, athletes, to live a better life after they have left. People, a lot of people, not just in sports, give their all to this country, but as soon as they retire, they are forgotten. You may raise a point and say, well, about personal planning, financial intelligence and all of that. But I think that this country, a country where we are told now that subsidy is an anathema, also has a responsibility to protect persons who serve the country. As for the plight of the Super Eagles in Libya, William Truss Ekong, the captain for now, until maybe they bring Ahmed Musa back, says we will not play this match. Well, I urge William Truss Ekong not to follow that line. They were supposed to arrive in Benghazi. They were taken to another place where they were not allowed access to phone, to food, to accommodation. I think they are still hurting from Dele Bashiru's last-minute goal on Friday at the Gosula Pabio Stadium. I urge them to go ahead and play that match tomorrow and teach the Libyans a lesson by beating them silly. It was 1-0 in Uyo. They should give them 2-0 tomorrow. That is what will give us comfort and put the Libyans to utter disgrace.
You've seen it for yourself. Now, I'm aware that there's some sort of instability in the nation of Libya. But for goodness sake, sports is supposed to be a unifier. And these guys that has gone to play for Super Eagles are supposed to be our ambassadors. What is going on with the Confederation of African Football and what is going on with the Nigerian government? This is a call to make sure that the Minister of Sports does a petition to Confederation of African Football, and it should also be escalated down to FIFA. The truth of the matter is that these are one or two of the things that African leaders like Julius Malema and others have been complaining about. How that we keep creating boundaries within ourselves. We do not allow our own Africa to be united within ourselves. And that is why the foreign nations would keep taking advantage of us. Please, we'd love you to do well to drop your own thoughts in the comment section. Let's get to know what you think about the action that has happened to Super Eagles in Libya, and we shall continually be here to serve you. Many thanks indeed to all our viewers and returning subscribers. We truly do not take it lightly. My name again is Moses and this is Think Tank. See you on our next video. Bye for now.